Hi y'all, my alley pallies, and I'm back from Mac. I'm a poet and I don't know it.
Yes, you do.
And that's Jack. I had to come back from Mac for Jack. Alright, enough silliness. So, as promised, I went to Mac in Carnaby Street because I saw a video yesterday, which I will link below, from Pixiwoo, Sam, saying that they were going to be there today. And when I looked up, I could see there was no step-free access. And I had a bit of a moan on Instagram about the lack of step-free cosmetic shops, which just frustrates me sometimes. But I have to say, fair play to Mac at Carnaby Street. You were all wonderful to me. The manager, Nathan, hello Nathan, thank you so much, rang me up, responded really quickly, rang me up and said, please come along, we'll get the ramp out for you. You won't be able to get up the stairs where the Pixiwoos are, but we'll bring them down to you. So, given that I wasn't going to be in a queue waiting to see them, but they were going to come down to me, I couldn't not go, could I really? Now that is Jack's dinner just cooked, so I'll be right back. Okay, that also helped me while I went to get the dinner for Jack. It helped me to go in and check the name. So it was Nathan, Jessie and Carla at Mac in Carnaby Street, and Carla did my makeup. Now I'm going to leave a picture of Carla at the end. It looks like we've got filters on us, as it probably did when I started this video. They're not filters, it's called swatching loads of makeup and getting it over your camera lens. So I've just cleaned my camera lens. So if ever you think that I look a bit blurry and have I got a filter on, it's most likely going to be makeup. Okay, now I'm not going to tease you much longer. You want to know, don't you, whether I met Pixiwoo, Sam Nikki Chapman, and yes I did, and they came down to meet me and they were lovely, and I asked them 2 questions. Let me put the picture here first of our meeting. Okay, so exciting. I just couldn't believe I was meeting them. So I decided I had to go with some questions, especially as they were coming down the stairs to see me. And I had 2 questions. I had one for Sam, which was the, you probably heard me talk about this a lot, about this idea of setting your foundation with a powder. So I am in NC, and NC foundations are quite yellow, and often I'm worried I look too yellow. And Sam did a video a while back where she said, get a setting powder. If you're NC, get a setting powder in NW and it evens it out. And I said it was a great tip and I love it and I use it a lot. However, I got NW30 and I think it's slightly too dark. So Sam told me, try NW25 or even NW20. So afterwards, I was met by a few makeup artists and I'll tell you what I got in a minute. But then I said, right, this is to both of you. You've talked a lot about these new powder lipsticks from MAC. Which one would you recommend for me? And they said, what colours do you like? And I said, my mood changes whenever. Just tell me, looking at me, which one you think. And they picked me a lipstick. So I'm going to show you the video next, because Sam has asked me to send a picture of me in the lipstick. And when I come back on, you'll see me wearing the lipstick. And of course I will send her the picture. Okay, this was so much fun. And I just want to thank Sam and Nikki for their time, because I know they had a lot of people waiting upstairs for them. And, you know, I'm not asking for preferential treatment. I really am not. If I could have got upstairs, I'd have waited in line with everyone else. But it was so nice of them to come down and take their time with me, and yeah, so thank you again, and here's the video.
I can't believe it.
Hello everyone. Nice to meet you.
This week, Daniel Sandler and the two Pixiwoos. I just can't believe it. I'm speechless.
Oh, thanks so much. Oh, you must try that lipstick and send us a picture.
I will do. Thank you.
So this is the lipstick that Sam was talking about. So the one that she picked for me was, I think, well, her and Nikki, because they were talking about it, was Work, Work, Work. And this is the one. So it's a lovely red. And she said, do you mind bold colours? Do I mind? Do I mind? Now, this lipstick, if you're interested, it has got the most unique formula. When they call it powder kiss lipstick, it feels like powder. It's very light. The only thing I will say, when I was trying it on in the shops, my lips were quite dry and I had a little bit of skin sitting there, and it really showed it up. So if you're going to use this lipstick, make sure that you exfoliate your lips and use a little bit of balm before you apply it, because otherwise it does tend to show up any dead skin sitting there. But it's lovely and natural and light for the day. And I think I haven't done a wear test yet, which I will do, and I'll keep you updated. But I think that this is going to wear quite some time. Now, so this is Work, Work, Work. I'm going to take this off. I'll do a photograph first before I take it off, because I got one other lipstick, because you know I'm a bit short of lipsticks. So, nice, eh? And I love this. I think this is a very nice colour. And it's sort of a toned down red for the day. So it's really good. It's very much like, if you took, like when I took the other day, that Daniel Sandler red, and I blotted it out and put it on like that, dabbed it on so it was a stain. That's what these are like. But they've got a very comfortable sort of powder-like texture to them. And it's really difficult to explain it. But definitely, if you can get a sample, give them a try. Now, I got one other of these lipsticks. Now, I think that Pixiwoo, both of them said this is another possible colour for me after I'd got it. But it was Jessie that was it Jessie? No, let me just check. No, it was Carla. Carla was doing my makeup. So Carla actually picked out 4 for me. And I went for 2 that looked quite different. I narrowed it down to 2 that looked quite different. They all look lovely. There was one called Chili, which looked nice. But I've got a lot of lipsticks like it already. I mean, I've got a lot of lipsticks full stop, as you know. But there was another one that was sort of a little bit more blue toned and cerise toned, which I was going to go for. But then this one came out and I'm digging around in the bag. So just give me a moment. Okay, I've taken that lipstick off and I'm now going to show you the second one that I got, which is called Style Shocked. And this is gorgeous as well. It's a orangey red. So I'm going to put this on and show you.
Precise 3 flames to get the ball to exactly 1,000 degrees. When it turns orange, that means the ball is 1,000 degrees. That's what they taught young bubblers. Our first science experiment is proving that size doesn't matter.
Really, really good for the summer. And I have a feeling, just from feeling them, that they are going to last a long time. I just want to try something because I also have a feeling that they're going to be quite transfer resistant, but I may be wrong. This is the first time I've tried this and I could be totally wrong, but let me just try it because I put on quite a thick coat then. Okay, it did come off, but if I blotted that, I have a feeling, let me just blot that on some tissue paper, which I've got here.
Next, we wanted to make sure the ball was using good hygiene
Right, if you see, I've blotted that and it is still quite pigmented. And I'm going to try that again on this hand. Okay, I've got a few remnants of things left over, so no, it's still staying on. So I have a feeling this is going to be a good one for lasting a long time. I'm feeling comfortable, but do make sure that you exfoliate your lips and you put a little bit of balm on beforehand so that it doesn't show up any dry patches on your lips. Then let me tell you what else I got. So of course I got some more foundation, my Pro Longwear waterproof foundation, because I can't find it. It was nearly run out anyway, and I have a feeling that I threw it in the bin because I remember throwing the box in the bin, and now I can't find the foundation. But even if I do find it, doesn't matter because there was only a little drop left. So I got another foundation, and I went with Sam's advice with the powder to go over it. So what I thought I'd do, some of this has come off. I'm going to show you that, and then I will finish off by telling you what I applied to my face today, because few of you have asked me what makeup I'd put on, and I just didn't have time to tell you in the description bar. I will also leave it in the description bar. Okay, so let me just show you this. Okay, so I know a few of you watching me have got similar skin tone to me, and even if you haven't, the concept still applies. So this will be really interesting. So I've just got a little bit of my MAC NC 35 foundation, and I'm just going to dot some of that around my chin because some of that has come off, and around my nose. So as you can see, as I'm putting it on, can you see? Now, obviously, there's a bit of Daniel Sandler blusher there. But if you look at my face, where my chin, where some of my foundation has come off, although this is a good match in terms of depth of colour, it can sometimes go a little bit too yellow on me and make me look more yellow undertoned than I actually am. Okay? And I know I've spoken to you about this before, but when I've done it, I've had to go very gently into the powder that I've got to counteract it. And Sam said, try NC25 or even NC20. Oh, sorry to confuse you. Sam said to try NW20 or NW25 powder to counteract the NC. Okay? NW. Sorry to confuse you. Now, the advisor said, I think NC25, we tried it and it was perfect. So let me just show you that. So I'm not sure if you can see, I turned the light up quite deliberately. If you can see that now, because you haven't got any of my unfoundation skin to compare it to. But if you did, you would see that this is actually a little bit yellower than I actually am. So now I'm going to take the new powder. I'll just take it out of its packaging and I'll be right back. Okay, so making sure I use a Real Techniques setting brush, of course. Why not? I'm now going to go in with NW25. So my foundation was NC35. So I've gone down 2 shades. Okay, and I'm now going to go in and cover that with NW25, and this is Studio Fix powder foundation. And what you will see is it brings back the pink undertone that I have in my skin, and it makes it look more like my skin. Can you see at the end of my nose, I didn't cover that in foundation. There's still some pink, even though I've got an olive undertone. And as you put this on, it just balances out that yellow undertone to give me a skin tone that is more realistic to my actual skin tone, i.e. a bit of yellow, a bit of pink. Now, for everyone, obviously, it's going to be a bit of experimentation. But if you, like me, are an NC in anything and you find that, Jack, could you just turn that down a little bit, please, darling? Thank you. And you find that foundations look too yellow on you, but you do have some yellow undertone, then this is the way to do it, is to swap to an NW powder and vice versa. If anybody's got any questions about this and they want to ask me, do put a message underneath and we'll try and work it out together for you. Because obviously I'm just dealing with my skin tone at the moment, and you might find it difficult to translate into yours. But can you see, so my forehead's looking a little bit more yellow than I am. But if I put this over the top, it just balances it out. It's such a brilliant tip from Pixiwoo. So thank you so much. And that has really helped me. I think in the winter, I could possibly go for an NW20. I think she's right. I'm kind of between shades at the moment. But I think, given that we're coming to summer and I get quite tanned, I think that this would work. Take me through the summer. So that was it. And then the last thing is I asked for a good waterproof concealer. This was a suggestion from Carla, who saw me afterwards and was brilliant in helping me to pick products. Go with my good waterproof foundation. And what she suggested was Studio Fix. And I'm going to show you that one. And again, she didn't say NC35 and not even NC anything, but NW. And what I found when applying an NW concealer is that it took away my need. She took it off one eye and she left my other eye done up as I'd done. And I had a colour corrector under that eye. And what I found is that by switching to an NW, I didn't need the colour corrector because I had the warmth to kind of give me the right correction. So, sorry, this is NW30. So, I'll just show you a little bit of that. I've got plenty on already. And she said you don't need to set this with powder because I asked her. Because as you know, I don't like setting concealer with powder if I don't have to. And it stays put. So she advised me that if my eyes are very watery, to use a little bit of this as a concealer, which is the waterproof foundation, and then a little bit of that over the top. And it should really protect my makeup if my eyes water. So I got some lovely samples to try. I got a free makeover, which I've got to use in the next 2 or 3 months. I've got to use it valid until the 3rd of July. So I will take you on another hunt down to MAC. A strobe cream and some lip exfoliator to try out. And some samples of the Powder Kiss lipstick. So all in all, had a lovely day at MAC. Really great. Now, before I go, and hopefully this isn't too long, I did promise that I would tell you what I put on my face today. So I'm going to switch back to the original lipstick I was wearing to do that part. Okay, so this is what I was wearing this morning. So I couldn't find my MAC foundation. So instead I used the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Foundation and used Charlotte's Flawless Filter as a primer in shade 3 underneath. Then on my eyes, I went in with my YSL, the green shadow stick, which I demonstrated to you last week. And I used both shades, one on my lids and one in the crease. It has creased up a bit, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. But then, because I wanted to layer it on and make sure it stayed put, and the more layers you put on, provided you don't put thick layers on, the longer your makeup's going to last. So given that I was going out, so then I set the eyelids with exactly the same shadow as I did when I did the video, which is the shade from Starlight Palette of Pops by Charlotte Tilbury. Then I took the Icon palette and I used the green shade that's in the Icon palette to set what I'd done on the crease. Okay, and I also did underneath here with that. And I used, I have to think what I'd put as a highlight in a minute. And I did Barbarella Brown, but I also did a bit of the green YSL stick and set it with a bit of the green out of the Icon palette. Okay, if you want me to go through this and start it from scratch, do let me know. I'll put all the details below. On my cheeks, I used Daniel Sandler's blush, How Could I Not Today, and I covered it in powder. So I like to do that. I like to use his watercolour blushes that way, because when you can put them on and they can be a little bit over the top and it doesn't matter, and then you can put the powder on. And then it just looks like your skin, and it just works really well. So I used his shade in Acid on the apples of my cheeks. I used I've forgotten the name of it. I'll put it on voiceover here. I used Glamour on the rest of my cheeks. On here, and then I used his new shade in Elegance up here, and then I set it, and as you can see, it's lasted really well and it looks natural. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. Oh, lipstick. The lipstick I'm wearing today is Super Size Me with Rosy Glow Collagen Lip Bath over the top. So I hope you've enjoyed today. And I will see you very soon and leave you with a few photographs of today. Okay, take care. Thanks for watching, Ali Pally. See you all soon. Okay, I did say I'd say something about my eyeshadow creasing. I decided to leave it and not try to correct it because I think I was inspired by Sam Chapman, who often says that actually it's good to not have perfect makeup, and sometimes it actually looks good not too perfect. And call me mad, but I quite like the effect that it gave, so I left it as it was. Okay, some more pictures coming up.